What's going on, guys? Back with another video. I wanted to show you guys what tools I used to successfully wrap my car. So here's my setup. I have my vinyl still stacked up in the box. I have some camera gear there ready to go. And then I have all my tools laid out on my workbench. So I'm actually going to hop over to Metro Restyling in a second and show you what I have. But make sure you have painter's tape. Make sure you have some 70% isopropyl alcohol. I used a drill with a number 2 Phillips attachment to remove some things. You don't need it, but it's nice to have. I definitely recommend having a clay bar and some Dawn dish soap, as well as some cleaning brushes and some wash mitts, so that you could clean your car if you haven't done that already. Alright, so here we are on MetroRestyling.com. Again, not sponsored. This is just who I ordered from. They had pretty much everything that I needed in one place. So they actually changed over their website a couple years back, and I don't have access to my order form anymore, or my cart, or anything that shows what I ordered. So I actually went through their whole website section by section and re-added to my cart the same things that I purchased, so that you could get an idea for how much it would cost and see exactly what I used. So no particular order. I'm just going to scroll down to the bottom. I have the Wagner Furno 300 heat gun. Doesn't have to be this model. I think this is the model that I have, that I ended up buying at the end, because if you watch the videos, you'll see my heat gun broke, the cheap one that I got from Harbor Freight. So Wagner's a great brand. This one worked great for me, and I had no issues. I definitely recommend getting one. If you don't already have one, get one that actually can stand up on its back and allow you to use that heat hands-free. It's very useful, especially when you're wrapping smaller parts, because then you could have both hands on the part, on the emblem, on whatever you're working with, and you could work it over the heat as you need to. I definitely picked up some Rapid Tack. Just from watching videos. Some guys use it in different areas, some don't. I don't feel that it's absolutely necessary to have, but it is a good idea to have it, in my opinion. I've used it also at our ice cream shop on the windows to apply decals. It is a great product. Not completely necessary, but for a few bucks, I definitely recommend picking it up, because, there might be a situation where you end up finding that it's useful. Next, 3M Primer 94. I definitely recommend this. This is what I used to adhere the vinyl on some of the sharp corners. I used it on the front bumper on some of the really aggressive curves and angles that it has. I used this inside the fender wells and a few other areas where there was a really aggressive corner. I used it on my side skirts, on the bottom, on the front, and the back. So I definitely recommend picking that up. I don't know if I didn't use that, I don't know that the vinyl absolutely would peel back, but in my opinion, that's not something that you want to find out later. I will say, use it sparingly, use it only in the most aggressive parts of the car. Otherwise, it's going to be a nightmare when you go to remove that vinyl. Next, we have 3M Design Line Knifeless Tape. This is the, I was calling it Fine Line, Design Line, whatever. They have a bunch of different names for it. Basically, it is a thin wire that has a plastic carrier and an adhesive backing. So you actually attach it to your car. You can curve it however you want. That's why this is called Design Line. And you can tell by the illustration, it actually has a curve in it. The reason is it's a lot more flexible than some of the other products out there. But basically, you lay that on your car, you apply your wrap over it, and then you pull that wire through and it cuts it from the back. So definitely worth having. It's not a bad idea to get a roll of the Design Line and then another roll of one of the heavier wires that they have for their straight lines. But I just didn't feel that was necessary, and I did everything with the Design Line. If you watch the videos, you'll see it tends to break because it is a very thin wire, but that's what allows it to be flexible and make different shapes. Next, this is actually the same snitty that I have. It's a paper cutter. Makes it very easy and quick to safely cut large sections and sheets of vinyl. You don't have a blade sticking through the back, so you don't have to worry about gouging anything or cutting yourself or anything like that. Just zips around really quick. So I use this for very large rough cuts. Next, retractable razor blade. Pick this one up for like $4. I recommend having a plastic one. I should say a plastic bodied razor blade. You can get some from DeWalt or Home Depot or whatever. A lot of them have a metal body. It's not the end of the world. Just realize that it's possible that that metal body will actually scratch your paint or your wrap. So I do recommend having a plastic one, and I recommend having a thin razor blade. They also sell 30-degree blades, replacement blades, so that allows you to get into a sharper corner and things like that. I didn't purchase that, and I actually got by just fine without it. Next, edge sealer tape, 8914. It's what I used. I used the clear and the gloss. They have a matte finish. They have ones that are black. Me personally, since my wrap was gloss, I used the clear. I used this to seal the edges on my rear wing to give some extra holding power, and I wanted it to be gloss so that it matches my wrap. If you go with matte and your wrap is gloss, you're going to see that. Likewise, if you use a gloss tape here and your wrap is matte finish, you're also going to see that. So just make sure that you match the same type of tape as your wrap. Next, Michael Jackson glove, Metro wrap gloves. They have some other brand names like Avery Dennison that just cost more. I just went with the generic brand. Worked well enough. Not a bad pickup for $5. I definitely recommend it. Next, Hexis car wrap magnets. These are the same type and brand of magnets that I used. I actually picked up 6 of them. You could pick up as many as you want. I definitely recommend having at least 6. I know at $9 a pop, they're not the cheapest, but they're definitely worth having, and they make all the difference, especially if you're wrapping your car by yourself. Little chiseler, waste of money in my opinion. Not that you can't get one for $3. It's really not a huge loss or anything. I personally just did not really use it pretty much at all. I tried it a couple times, didn't like it. I preferred having my regular squeegees for using the vinyl and stuff. Some of the tinting triangles I used, but this I really didn't use. The Metro Vinyl Removal Tool Squeegee, picked it up, was I think it was on sale when I purchased it. I didn't spend $5 for it. I want to say I spent like $3 maybe, something like that. It's designed to look like a razor blade. It's plastic, it's large. I think it's like 4 or 5 inches, so it's kind of deceiving looking at the picture. I knew it was large. I wanted to just kind of get it and see how it was. Not the biggest fan of it, but it was okay. I used it to clean out behind some of the seals on my car, so it's not a terrible waste of money, but you might want to pick that up. Next, panel tools. I already had a set of panel removal tools, but if you don't have a set, this is a pretty decent set. You're going to have to remove the interior door panels and some other panels on your car to wrap effectively, so I definitely recommend having those if you don't have them already. The Avery Dennison Red Pro Flex Soft Squeegee. I definitely recommend this. This is the softest squeegee that I had, but it was actually useful because it helps conform to some of the curves on your car and some of the angles where some of the stiffer squeegees just didn't conform as much. A stiff squeegee is better for applying a lot of pressure. This squeegee does not apply the most pressure, but there are times where I did use it and it was very useful. The high quality felt edge squeegee, 4-inch and 6-inch. I got the 4-inch. All of my squeegees were 4-inch. This is just a generic brand they throw on the Metro restyling name. This is actually a fairly stiff squeegee, and it's great for applying pressure, especially on some of the flat panels. So I definitely recommend picking that up. $5, can't go wrong. The 3M hand applicator squeegee, PA1-B for blue, I guess. $4, definitely recommend picking this up. This is probably the one that I used the most, between the blue squeegee and the red squeegee for most of the car as far as the wrap. If you have a stiff squeegee, it's also great for doing decals and vinyl on glass on a very hard surface. The blue squeegee I used for I think most of my car. Whenever you watch the videos, you'll see what I used most of. But this is a kind of a mid-grade squeegee where it is not too firm and it's not too soft, so it's just perfect for most panels. Continuing right along, we have the monkey strips. I talk about these a couple times, if I'm not mistaken. Monkey strips are great. They are replacement felt strips. These are pre-cut. They have the same material on a roll, and you could just trim it to whatever length you need. That's great if you have some squeegees that are not a standard size or whatever, or you have a pro shop or something like that. For me, I just picked up, these packs of pre-cut strips. I swear I got 10 of them. I was thinking they had a 10 pack. Maybe they got rid of that. I don't know. But you at least want to get 5. I recommend getting 10. Again, it's an investment. So yeah, it's $6 for a 5 pack, but you know, you're saving tons of money by wrapping your car yourself. Next, we have the Tinner's triangles. I definitely use these for getting behind seals. I definitely recommend them. It's a good deal for $10 in my opinion for a 2-pack. So those are very helpful. Next, Hexis application roller. This is a roller that's designed to apply a lot of pressure to a very small area, and this is what really helps lock in your wrap in some tight corners and tight areas where you need that extra pressure. It's a lot easier to use this to apply the film. Obviously, you can tell just by the roller, it is thin and narrow, but it really helps you apply a lot of pressure in a focused area, and it's much better rather than trying to use your fingers or even a squeegee. You know, you could only push so hard, but with this tool you could actually use your whole hand basically to apply that pressure. It is $30. It was one of the more expensive purchases, but I definitely wanted to get it and I don't regret it at all. So I do recommend picking that up. Next is just the wraps that I used. I used Avery Dennison SW900 Gloss Intense Blue. There's the part number. I have here a 75-foot roll. I believe I picked up 60 feet, but maybe it was 75. Yeah, it's $736. Not super cheap, but when you compare it to paint and some other options, it's not a bad deal. I will say I wrapped my whole car. The roof was done in gloss black, which I'll get to in a second. I wrapped my hood twice, and I had plenty of leftover. So you're going to have plenty of offcuts. I rather order a lot more than I need. You know, I would hate to come up short. So you could hop on the website, check it out yourself. The 75 feet is only, I want to say $40-50 more or so, maybe $60 more than going with the 60 feet. So yes, it is more money, but I think the 60-foot roll was about $680 or so. So that's on you. I'd rather just go for, you know, having a little bit extra wrap and being safe rather than sorry. Gloss black vinyl wrap, the SW900. That is the part number, I guess you could say, the type of wrap. SW900-190-0 is actually the part number for that specific gloss black. So I just used this on my roof, which is why I purchased a 6-foot section. Make sure you measure your roof first, and I didn't need a whole roll, obviously. So that ran me about $70 or so, and obviously since I wrapped my roof with the gloss black, I could take that amount of wrap off of the roll from my blue. I don't need that, obviously, but you know, I just chose to go with a black roof. If you want the roof to be the same color as the car, then obviously you just want to make sure that you account for that. Finally, the matte black vinyl wrap, also Avery Dennison SW900-180-0. I only ordered a couple feet of this. You'll see this on my rear bumper video when I wrap that. This is the wrap that I use for the center portion that is matte black. That is really the only place that I used it for my car, so I only ordered a couple feet of it, maybe 2 or 3 feet, and I just made sure that I had enough to cover that. So that's basically it. There's the whole arsenal of tools that I used and the wrap that I used. You could tell my total is around $1,000. I believe they have free shipping. That may change. Obviously, you're going to have to account for tax on that as well. But for $1,000, it's not that bad. And if you want to even throw on an extra couple $100 for some tools that you know you may need that you don't already have, I definitely recommend going this route if you're on a budget. Like I said, I wanted to paint my car, then I realized that just was not feasible, and my paint continued to deteriorate and get worse. So for $1,000, $1,200 to rewrap your car, it's really not that big of a deal. Now, going again through this list very quickly, you could tell that the majority of this, aside from the wrap itself, you know, these are one-time purchases. If you go to rewrap your car in a few years, yeah, pick up some more design line, pick up some more rapid tack or adhesive promoter, or you know, tape. Yes, you'll need that stuff, but as far as squeegees go, you're still going to have those. You're still going to have the magnets. So the second time you wrap your car, it's actually going to be a little bit cheaper than the first time you do it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. If you have any questions about the products that I used or any issues that I have, drop it in the comments down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.